Alright, we're looking at the overview of the meat tenderizer and all its dimensions. And what we're seeing here is here's a completed meat tenderizer. We've got the fine side and the coarse side, which is cut at a diagonal. We've got our dimensions here, and we've got a block that we're going to start with. Basically, this comes out of solid 2" by 2" aluminum stock. It's extruded. We cut it 2.5. so that if you do make a mistake, we can shave off that distance a couple of times and make it work again. So if you don't get it the first time, you get a second try. So basically what we see here is we've got kind of a rougher cut. This is from the Sawcut, so the bandsaw. And what we want to do is, we know that we've got a flat surface here, a factory flat surface. So we want to face mill this off. And basically, we're going to edge mill this with the long bit here. So we're going to get this into the chuck first. Let's change bits out. Let's get the edging bit in, and we're going to take off a small amount so we can get those surfaces perpendicular. We are going to stick this out about a ½ inch, and we want to tighten it up, set the work in, and we are going to bring over our setup here, and we are going to, if we look here, we are going to take the edge of this work and we are going to face it off. That way this bit right here creates a 90 degrees, so we got a perfect 90-degree surface. After we create a perfect 90-degree surface, then we can mill the other surface. We can flip it over. We know that then those two surfaces will be parallel. And then we're going to take this block and we're going to actually make it 1.8125 by 1.8125. That way when we do all the cutting and the pattern, it is a perfect pattern, so that all the flats on both the meat tenderizer end up being 1/16 by 1/16 squares. We'll talk about the math when we get to that point, but basically what we're going to do is get this thing a perfect square, 1.8125, so 1.812 by 1.812. First step is face milling this. We're going to come over, we're going to creep until we get a light cut. Just going to hear it start to nick, and we are going to do a climb mill or a conventional mill until that whole surface is polished up. We're going to go in about another 5,000. And we know that we now have this surface. We're going to go in just a little bit more. We don't want too much one at a time because there's a lot of side pressure. I'm going to shut this down. We now know that these two surfaces are exactly perpendicular, so we have a perfect 90 degree. Now we can take that off. We will deburr these edges so that they sit into the vise perfectly, and then we're going to mill the other side, okay, so that it is parallel. Both these surfaces will be parallel, and then we're going to take this cube and turn it to 1.8125.